First Timothy chapter 5, verses 1 to 16. Sa verse 1. Last time sa chapter 4:12, sabi ni Paul kay Timothy, don't let anyone think less of you because you are young. Tandaan niyo yan. Don't let anyone think less of you because you are young. Be an example to all believers in what you say, in the way you live, in your love, your faith, and your purity. So dito sa verse 1, makikita niyo dito, rebuke not an elder. Or older man, but exhort or entreat him as a father. Sinabihan siya dito na, oo nga sa 1 Timothy 4:12, sinabihan siya na, kung bata ka, wag mong hayaan yung matanda na, alam mo yun, maliiting ka. So, hindi ibig sabihin pwede na ni Timothy, alam mo yun, palagan yung mga elder o bulihin o alam mo yun, parang i-abuse yung authority niya. Naintindihan niyo? Kaya siya sinasabihan dito na rebuke not an elder or confront, no? As if parang ano ka, alam mo yun, pataasan ka, no? Na ihi. Naintindihan niyo? Huwag ganon. Kaya sinabihan kita na huwag mong hayaan yung matanda na inaano ka. Kasi gifted ka eh, no? Pero although gifted ka, Timothy, huwag kang mga ano nung matanda. Naintindihan mo? Pero ito, entreat him or exhort him as a father. And the younger men as brethren or brother. So may balance. May balance yung authority mo. Tsaka syempre, kahit authorized ka, hindi ibig sabihin mabastos ka na dyan. O, alam mo yun, gamitin mo yung authority mo kahit matanda pa yan. No, may balance. Tama nga lang naman na ganun, di ba? Pero ang pinaka-tip dito o guideline kay Timothy is tratuhin mo daw yung mga elder mo na parang daddy mo o tatay mo. Kasi it makes sense, di ba? Hindi mo naman babastusin yung tatay mo eh. Di ba? Yung earthly father mo. Same with kung younger naman, tratuhin mo na as kapatid. Binabastos mo ba yung kapatid mo? Ikaw may kapatid ka, di ba? Hindi, di ba? Sabihin natin mas malakas ka sa kanya, pero hindi mo babastusin yun, di ba? Meron kang doon. Kakaibang klaseng respect kasi kapatid mo talaga yun in the flesh. So, ganun din daw ang pagtrato. So, basically, para madali maintindihan. Same sa verse 2. Kunyari, elder women as mothers. Kunyari, may mga nakakatanda sa church na tratuhin yung nanay niyo yun. Na? In a sense, totoo, di ba? Spiritual mother. Na? Ganun din yung younger women. Tratuhin sila na parang kapatid talaga. Tapos siningit pa dito na daw? The elder women as mothers, the younger as sisters, with all purity. Ibig sabihin, ano ibig sabihin nun? With all purity. Anong naiintindihan nyo dyan?
Walang kaplastikan.
Walang halong kabastusan.
Exactly. Ano?
Pure.
Yeah. So, pag sama-samahin lahat yung mga sagot nyo, di ba? Walang halong kaplastikan, di ba? Puro, pure. Pure of what? Pure love. Di ba? No hypocrisy. Yung hypocrisy, no? Kapikean. Ang Greek meaning ng hypocrisy, actor or actress. No? Kasi sa panahon nila, ang tawag sa mga stage for performers. Hupok. Basta, nakalimutan ko na yung Greek word, pero it rhymes with hypocrisy. Hypocrite. So, parang ano yun, actor, actress. Kunyari, may mga nanonood kayo sa, parang entertainment nila dati, may nagpe-perform sa stage. Mga hypocrites ang tawag nila doon. Kasi they're playing an act. They're pretending they're somebody. Parang mga actor, di ba? Hindi naman sila si Superman, pero he's playing as Superman. As strong. Hindi naman malakas, di ba? So, ganun yung hypocrite. Ngayon, with all purity, wag kang magpapanggap sa ibang tao na, alam mo yun, ayaw mo naman sila, so you have to pretend. No? Ngayon, alam mo yun, kung di mo talaga sila matanggap, ipakita mo. Yun lang, wala lang. Yun lang sasabihin ko. Huwag kang magpanggap na, naintindihan nyo? I don't even like you, pero I'm gonna pretend I like you. Fake yun. That's not pure. May halong kalokohan. Naintindihan mo? Verse 3. Honor widows that are widows indeed. Dito may tinutukoy na tinatawag dito, widows indeed. Totoong widows. Pero, para maintindihan ngayon natin tong mga widows dito, kailangan nating maintindihan yung context dito sa church in Ephesus. Merong 3 grupo na issue nila nung panahon. Makikita natin 'yan hanggang sa chapter 6, tuloy-tuloy 'to eh. Ang una is yung mga widows, second mga elders. I-address 'yan sa next study natin. Tapos sa chapter 6, the slaves. So basically treatment. How do you treat the widows? How do you treat the elders? 17 to 25. Tapos sa chapter 6, the slaves. Paano nyo? May slavery kasi pa yun. Pero the first, widows. Ano yung widow? Wala nang asawa. Hindi ibig sabihin walang asawa as in divorce, no? Namatay na yung asawa. No? Yun ang considered widow. Sa Bible, ang dami. Old Testament, New Testament, ang daming mga widows dito. Kunyari sa Book of Ruth, no? Si Ruth and Naomi, mga widow. Si Ruth nag-asawa uli. Malalaman natin yan mamaya na pwede ka uli mag-asawa pag widow ka na. Tandaan niya sa 1 Corinthians 7. Kapag buhay pa yung asawa mo, hindi ka pa widow, hindi ka pwede mag-asawa. Kunyari, nag-divorce kayo ng asawa mo, hindi naman siya patay. Nag-divorce lang kayo, separated na kayo. Hindi ka na pwede mag-asawa. Oo. Considered adulterous ka kapag nag-asawa ka uli. Although maraming gumagawa pa rin nun. Kunyari, nakipag-divorce, tapos naganap uli ng asawa. That's a sin. No, ayaw ni God ng ganun. Pero kung namatay, pwede ka mag-asawa. Kaya si Ruth, ayan, widow to eh. Inasawa niya si Boaz. Diba? Tapos sa Luke chapter 2, may widow, si Anna. Si Anna. Basahin natin to. 2:36-37. Anna, a prophet or prophetess. 2:36-37. Chapter 2:36. Was also there in the temple. She was the daughter of Phanuel from the tribe of Asher. And she was very old. Her husband died when they had been married only 7 years. Then she lived as a widow to the age of 84. Hindi na to nag-asawa. Hanggang 84. She never left the temple but stayed there day and night worshiping God and fasting and praying. Parang ito yata yung tinutukoy na widows indeed. Totoong widow. Believer pa, godly. Luke 7, verse 12 to 15. A funeral procession was coming out as he approached the village gate. The young man who had died, so may namatay dito, anak nung widow. Ayan. The young man who has died was a widow's only son, and a large crowd from the village was with her. When the Lord saw her, his heart overflowed with compassion. "Don't cry," he said. Then he walked over to the coffin and touched it, and the bearers stopped. "Young man," he said, "I tell you, get up," sinabi ni Lord. So, ni-resurrect ni Lord Jesus yung anak ng widow. Then the dead boy sat up and began to talk, and Jesus gave him back to his mother. Nakikita mo yung care ni Lord sa mga widow. Kasi, mamaya may passage siya sa Exodus, no? Papakita dun kung gaano ka-concern si Lord sa mga widow. Meron pa isang widow sa Mark chapter 12, yung walang pera, na? Ano?
May ano ba?
Oh.
Na
Baka mo?
widow indeed. May peking widow ba?
Yeah. Malalaman natin, mamaya. Sa mga darating pang passages. Yung sa Mark 12, nakikita nyo yung widow dito, mahirap lang siya. Binigay niya yung barya niya na kahuli-hulihan. Honor widows that are widows indeed. Honor, timao, ibig sabihin, value, revere, to feel deep respect, to value, honor widows. Pero yung honor, ano lang yun eh, 'di ba? Parang feelings siya eh, no? Pero to show that honor in action, ang ibig sabihin ng honor is to care for. No? So ang sinasabi sa verse 3, care for widows that are widows indeed. Bakit you have to care for or take care of the widow? Kasi wala na silang wala na silang lalaki, no? Usually kasi ang lalaki provider, 'di ba? Siya yung trabaho, no? Yung babae takes care of the house, the kids, no? Wala na yung asawa niya. Kasi sabi ni Lord, kunyari sa Exodus 22, to 24. ESV, you shall not mistreat any widow or fatherless child. Widow and fatherless child. You shall not mistreat any widow or fatherless child. If you do mistreat them and they cry out to me, I will surely hear their cry, and my wrath will burn, and I will kill you with the sword. So talk about how, if you're wondering how much God cares towards those widows, also fatherless child. Ayan. Magagali, my wrath, verse 24, and my wrath will burn, and I will kill you with the sword, and your wives shall become widows, and your children fatherless. Grabe, no? So, more widows pa ang hihinatnan pa. Dahil papatayin ka ni Lord kung bastos ka towards widows. Nakita nyo? Psalm 68 verse 5, NLT. Father to the fatherless, defender of widows, this is God, whose dwelling is holy. No? Defender of widows, si God. Father to the fatherless. Diba? Makaka-relate kayo dyan. Yung mga daddy, mga father niya sa yung mga father nyo, no? Pero, God is father to the fatherless. Intindihan nyo? Yun ang tunay yung father, your creator. So, you're not without a father. Diba? Verse 4. Teka, verse 3, no? Sabi, widows indeed. Ang kasagutan dyan nasa verses 5, tapos verses 9 and 10. So makikita natin yan mamaya. Verse 4. But if any widow have children or nephews, let them learn first to show piety at home and to requite their parents, for that is good and acceptable before God. Yung nephews dito. No? So kung yung itong widow daw may anak, single mom na siya. No? Hindi single mom na kagaya nung single mom na sa society natin na iniwan niya yung lalaki niya. Nagpakuwalang ng child support. May mga ganun. Pero, basta may anak. Widow may anak. Nephews. Nung unang panahon, ang daming ibig sabihin ng nephews. Pwedeng, pag tinawag na nephew, di ba? Ano na Tagalog ng nephew? Pamangkin. No? Pero, ang Greek word, egkonos, a descendant. Sprung from one or grandchild. So, yun ang ibig sabihin ng nephew. Basically, kamag-anak mo. No? Let's say may pamangkin daw tong bata o kaya apo. O kunyari, lola na siya. No? May apo pa siya. Saka siya yung babysit nung parents na. Ewan ko. Kasi panahon natin, pinababysit yung mga lolo o lola. O minsan siguro, wala na yung parents talaga ng bata. So, yung apo na yun, lola na talaga magpapalaki. Naintindihan nyo? Parang, in my case, parang ganun din ako nung panahon. Wala si mom tsaka dad, di ba? Si lola. No? Pero, itong widows indeed dito, sa totoo, in short, ang tinutukoy dito yung believers. Believing widows. So, para, ayan, na-spoil na kayo. No? So, ngayon, kung meron daw siya, na ganyan, anak o kaya apo, anong gagawin? Siningit ni Paul to dito eh. Mas maintindihan natin to pag NLT. Ayan. But if she has children or grandchildren, their first responsibility, talking about the children and the grandchildren, their responsibility is to show godliness at home and repay their parents by taking care of them. This is something that pleases God. So, naisip ko talaga dito, siya eh. Two-way street siya eh, no? The mother or the widow, the parents, is gonna take care of the kids, no? Two-way street. The kids also gonna take care, no? It's like a reciprocal, no? Palitan, suklian. Naintindihan nyo? It's how it is supposed to be. Hindi lang, no? Parang ewan ko kunyari lang si EJ, no? Binibili siya ng mami niya ng mga protein, mga pagkain. I wonder anong ginagawa niya sa parents niya, no? Pero he's probably a good son. Diba? Kasi sabi niya, he take care of their diet, no? Pinasabi niya daw sa parents. Ha? Basta. So, basta ang idea, no? Naalagaan ka ng nanay mo, maayos ka rin sa nanay mo, no? Pero dito, in this context, yung mga widows indeed, no? Siningit nga ni Paul dito for the kids to know na kailangan repay your parents. Show godliness at home. Ano sabi sa huli, this is something that pleases God. Ephesians 6:1 at saka 2 hanggang 3. Children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right. Verse 1 yun, ESV. This is right, tama. Yeah, NLT, verses 2 to 3. Honor your father and mother. This is the first commandment with the promise. Isa sa 10 commandments yun di ba? Honor your father and mother. Pero may naka-attach na promise dun eh. Ano daw? If you honor your father and mother, things will go well for you and you will have a long life on the earth. So nakita mo, that's the promise. Kung matino ka, maayos ka sa parents mo, things will go well for you, tsaka hahaba buhay mo. No? May promise siya. Mapapabuti yung ano mo, alam mo yun, yung temporary life mo dito sa earth. Mapiplis si God eh. Matthew 15:4 ESV. For God commanded, honor your father and your mother, and whoever reviles father or bastusin, whoever reviles father or mother must surely die. Pag binastos mo, especially, the Lord here is quoting from the Old Testament. No? Pag binastos mo yung parents mo, ang law originally from God, no? You to be killed. Bastos ka na anak, no? You are to be killed. Exodus 21:17. Whoever curses his father or his mother shall be put to death. Ilang beses na kaya tayong namatay, no? Ilang beses ka na namatay. Diba? We're guilty of this. I'm not clean on this, no? Kung namatay na, patay na ako nun. Na? Tapos buhay, patay na naman, no? Kumbaga sa video game, yung ano mo, lagi kang patay. Hindi ka makatawid kasi bastusi bata ka. No? Ito yung sinasabi basically talaga sa kanya napag-aralan natin sa 1 Timothy chapter 3 verse 4, no? It gives the same idea. Ang sabi sa 1 Timothy 3:4, one that ruleth well his own house. Talking about yung qualification, no? Na elder. Same idea. Kailangan daw, he's someone that rules well his own house, having his children in subjection with all gravity. Verse 5. For if a man know not how to rule his own house, how shall he take care of the church of God? Kailangan as a widow, same with 1 Timothy 3:4 and 5. Yung mga widow, yung mga children dun sa bahay, well-respected tong widow na to o tong parent na to ng mga anak niya. At the same time, sinabihan din yung mga anak, ayusin nyo yung treatment nyo sa magulang nyo. Naintindihan nyo? Verse 5. Now she that is a widow indeed, ayan na, and desolate or left alone, trusted in God and continued in supplications and prayers night and day. Grabe, sound familiar? Parang si Ana kanina, no? Binasa natin sa, ano sa na yun? Luke chapter 2, si Ana. Godly. Nakatambay talaga sa temple, praying night and day. Nakikita mo dito itong real widows are God, the godly ones, the believer. Tandaan nyo, ang contrast dito, this is on ang background dito, yung mga Ephesian women. Tandaan nyo, ito in Ephesus, nagkalat ang false teaching. Ano na? Nagkalat. Iba-iba teaching. Specifically, pag-uusapan natin sa verse 6. Ano bang teaching yan? No? Tandaan nyo, ang goddess nila, sino? Sino ang goddess ng church, ng Ephesian, ng Ephesus? Sino? Kalimutan nyo na. Sa Crete, si Zeus. Tandaan nyo. Sa Ephesus, sino? Letter D. Si Diana. The Roman goddess Diana. Tandaan nyo, ano siya eh. Yung mga teaching yun, feminism. Yan ang issue nila. Yeah, the Roman goddess Diana is widely considered a feminist icon and archetype. as a fiercely independent huntress who protected women, avoided marriage, and chose female companionship. Her mythology naturally aligns with principles of autonomy and women's empowerment. So, dito sa verse 5, yung makikita mo dito, the widow indeed, they trust in God. They pray to God. They rely on God. Naintindihan nyo? Ang opposite, yung false teaching netong goddess Diana, women empowerment, no? Women, self-reliance, self-sufficiency. Naintindihan nyo? Di natin kailangan ng lalaki. Yun ang inaano ni Diana. Diba? Sound familiar? Diba? Yan ang kademonyohan ngayon. Feminism movement, di ba? Diana famously requested eternal freedom from marriage. She teaches that strength, sovereignty, and self-reliance are inherently sacred. So, yan ang mga false teaching. Many feminist and neo-pagan spiritual movements such as Dianic Wicca honor Diana as the ultimate embodiment of female strength, self-sufficiency, and the sacred feminine. So, ang pinag-uusapan yung widow, no? Meron kasing mga bumalik eh. Bumalik as in, alam mo yun, may asawa na eh, tapos naging single, naaano na naman sila, natetempt na naman sila ng mag-isa na lang na naman ako. Alam mo yun, naintindihan mo? Nagigising na naman yung flesh nila, yung background nila, yung who they were bago sila siguro maging believer daw kuno. Oh, naiintindihan niyo? Pero basically, itong mga babaeng pinag-uusapan dito, these are prostitutes. Prostitute. Ano yung prostitute? They make their money by selling their bodies for sex. Yun yung tinatawag nilang self-sufficiency, no? That also sounds familiar sa panahon natin, no? Meron ng yung mga babae independent na, no? They find ways para maging kumita sila ng pera. Anong ginagamit nila? Diba? OF, alam niyo na 'yon. Meron ding pornography. Naintindihan nyo? Prostitution all over the place. Sasabihin nila, hindi namin kailangan ng lalaki. I wonder why. Kumikita kayo, laki ng kita nyo eh. Hindi nyo na talaga kailangan. Milyon-milyon na kinikita nyo eh. Gamit ang katawan nyo. Naintindihan nyo? Yan ang pinag-uusapan dito. Talagang nakikita nyo yung spirit of Diana, no? Inside the modern women, especially ngayong panahon na to. Independent daw sila. Yeah, sure. Tapos pag nalaman mo, ayun kasi, ang laki na makakita during using unrighteous unrighteous means. No? That's an old demonic spirit of Diana. It has awakened in this time. Naintindihan nyo? Hindi na ako mag-elaborate doon sa mga means na yun. Alam nyo na yun. No? But she, verse 6, she that liveth in pleasure is dead while she liveth. Pleasure, indulgence. Talagang nagpapakalunod sa pleasure. This is talking about sexual pleasures, to be specific. Diba? Oh, wala na akong asawa. Talking about widow, no? Bumalik na. Nagising yung original nature. Ang dami pang mga nito ni Diana. Kung ano ng mga false teachings, to be specific. So nakita nyo yung verse 5, no? Ang tunay na widow, kay God nagre-rely. Naintindihan nyo? It's not about self-reliance gaya ng mga false widows. No? To be specific. Kasi nga, tanda mo yung sinasabi ko sa inyo, mga babae, they're really powerful. Naintindihan nyo? Alam ng babae, especially kapag mga mature na ang kahinaan ng mga lalaki, they could exploit that. They could use that to their advantage and even make maging ano yun, na source pa ng kabuhayan. Naintindihan nyo? It's crazy. Forget God, no? I can provide for myself. I don't need a man. Grabe. Yeah, sounds like Dianic weekends. She that lives in pleasure is dead while she lives. Kala niya namumuhay na siya ng maayos, no? Guess what? You're dead. You're dead. Parang yung sa Revelations, no? Although you think you're rich, you're poor. Tandaan niyo yan sa Revelation. Ganun ang sinasabi dito. Self-reliance is dead apart from God. Compared to verse 5, talagang death yun, no? Hindi ka nag-rely kay God, you don't trust in God. Hindi yun life. Verse 7, and these things give in charge that may be blamed. And these things give in charge that they may be blameless. Charge, command. These things. Ano yun? These things. All teachings and commands mentioned here. For example, respect to everybody. Caring for Christian widows. Christian children, honoring, caring for their parents, yung mga Christian children. Ituro daw to so that they may be blameless. Hindi mo ma-achieve yung blamelessness, no? Ang sinasabi lang, para wala masasabi sa'yo. Naintindihan nyo? This is godliness right here. Marami tayong matututunan dito. Hindi lang to nag-a-apply sa kay Timothy nga sinabi. Hindi niya sinasabi. Specifically, turo mo lang to sa mga specific No, we can learn a lot from this. Verse 8. But if any provide not for his own, and especially for those of his own house, he had denied the faith and is worse than an infidel or unbeliever. So, kumbaga sa Tagalog, kung hindi ka daw nakapag-provide dun sa pamilya mo, especially dun sa mga of your own house, you denied the faith and is worse than an unbeliever. Denied. Arneomai. Ibig sabihin, reject. As in rejection of the truth. Isa sa meaning ng denied, contradict. How does it contradict? Contradictory kasi sasabihin mo believer ka, tapos wala kang pakialam. Especially dun sa of his own house. Wala kang pakialam. Sounds like James 2, ha? Faith without works is dead. Naintindihan nyo? Kasi, real faith is shown towards believers. How? By works, aka love. Faith is shown by love. Hindi pwedeng, di ba? Tandaan nyo, James, no? Oh yeah, I'm faithful, I believe in God. So it's works. There's works out of love. 1 John 4:20-21. If a man say, I love God and hates his brother, he is a liar. For he that loved not his brother, whom he had seen, how can he love God whom he had not seen? And this commandment have we from him, that he who loved God, love his brother also. Naintindihan nyo? So basically parang James 2 talaga. To be a believer, to be a follower of guys, you're supposed to be about the business of loving your brothers and sisters. Naintindihan nyo? Pag walang ganon, ano yun? Parang sarili mo lang. Wala. You're not of the faith. Yun sinasabi sa 1 John basically. You're a liar. Verse 9. Let not a widow be taken into the number under 80 years old, having been the wife of one man. So, dito sa verse 9 and 10 pala, ano to, qualifications. Kasi, ang pag-uusapan dito, by the way, yung ano, parang support. Church support for the widows. Gawin nating NLT para maintindihan. Mas madali. Babasahin ko A widow who is put on the list for support must be a woman who is at least 60 years old and was faithful to her husband. Verse 10. She must be well respected by everyone because of the good she has done. Has she brought up her children well? Has she been kind to strangers and served other believers humbly? Has she helped those who are in trouble? Has she always been ready to do good? So, pinag-uusapan nila dito parang ano bang, parang EBT, church EBT towards widows. Kasi, tandaan nyo, this is pagpapatakbo ng church. Natatandaan nyo? Same with kay Titus, no? In-instruct si Titus pati si Timothy kasi papatakbo sila, magiging leader sila ng church. Naintindihan nyo? So, isa sa is may ganito, may sistema na ganito. Hindi pwedeng lahat makapag-take advantage nitong support na to. There's a special care for widows, special support. Pero may qualifications. Number 1, at least 60. Number 2, was faithful to her husband. Tandaan nyo? Naintindihan? Was. Kasi patay na yung husband niya. So, i-search yun. Mabuting asawa ba to? Number 3, well respected by everyone because of the good she has done. 4, brought up her children well. Mabuting nanay. 5, kind to strangers. 6, serve other believers humbly. 7, help those in trouble. Ready to do good. So basically, overall, no, godly. It's a godly woman. So pag ganon, qualified ka, makakatanggap ka ng care, even financial support probably. Sabay sa verse 11, ayan, no? But the younger widows refuse. Pag kinlik mo yun, ayan, no? Refuse to enroll. Hindi sila pwede, younger women. For when they have begun to wax wanton against Christ, they will marry. Kasi bata pa to. Ano pa to? Alam mo yun. NLT. The younger widow should not be on the list because their physical desires will overpower their devotion to Christ and they will want to remarry. So ano to, hindi to yung widows indeed. Kahit patay na yung asawa nyo pero bata pa kayo, di ba, mangangati pa kayo eh. Naiintindihan nyo? Parang ano to, bakit alam mo yun? Bakit napakaano ni Paul dito? Kasi naiintindihan ni Paul yung nature ng flesh. Kunyari, first sa Romans 7. Sa Romans 7, yung flesh, di ba? May gustong gawin yung flesh eh. 1 Corinthians 7:9. But if they can't control themselves, NLT, they should go ahead and marry. It's better to marry than to burn with lust. So may nararamdaman kasing ano eh, no? Bagbata pa. May mga temptation. So, alam mo yun? Gusto ni Lord, maging widow ka talaga na kasi si Lord ang ano mo, no? Nagre-rely ka kay God. Wala ka nung, hindi ka na naghahanap. Si God lang gusto mo. Naintindihan nyo? Pero kung magte-take advantage kayo, may mga nanloloko siguro nung panahon, ano? Kailangan ko ng support. Parang EBT nga. No? Kaya sinasabi talaga, in 1 Timothy 5:7, no? In these things give in charge that they may be blameless. Kasi pero dude, sabi ko nga, it's hard to be blameless. No? Bakit? Because we're dealing with the flesh. That's the truth. We're dealing with our sinful flesh. Younger women refuse to enroll. Kala nyo, kasali kayo Depende. May edad pa, no? Grabe naman si kailangan talaga gurang, matanda. No? Verse 12. Having damnation, talking about itong mga fake na widow. Having damnation because they have cast off their first faith. Sa 1 Timothy 5:6. But she that liveth in pleasure is dead while she liveth. Ito na naman yan. This is talking about sa 5:6. Having damnation or condemnation because they have cast off their first faith. Hindi yung first faith, what is that? That's not referring to their vow of celibacy. Alam niyo yung vow of celibacy? Nag-promise ka na single for life ka. Celibate. Pero yung cast off their first faith, this is not about vow of celibacy or of a devotion to the church.
Husband. First husband.
Pero most likely yung basic commitment to the love of the church, the people of God. They cast it off. Wala silang pakialam. Wala silang pakialam sa church. Nang ibabaw na naman nga yung flesh, no? Makikita mo nga naman sa verse 6 tsaka nga sa 11. Verse 11 NLT. The younger widows should not be on the list because their physical desires will overpower their devotion to Christ and they will want to remarry. So basically, wala nang devotion. Then they would be guilty of breaking their previous pledge. Sabi sa NLT. Verse 13. And with all, besides, they learn to be idle, wandering about from house to house, and not only idle, but tattlers or gossips, also, and busybodies, speaking things which they ought not. Sa NLT, and if they are on the list, they will learn to be lazy and will spend their time gossiping from house to house, meddling in other people's business and talking about the things they shouldn't. Naiintindihan nyo? Kasi may EBT na sila eh. May support na sa church na. Di ba? Ang tendency, hindi ako magtatrabaho. May support naman eh. Naiintindihan nyo? Qualify for church support daw eh. Tataba rin na. Ganon din yung EBT ngayon. Hindi, wag na ako. Magpa-file na lang ako ng mga, naiintindihan nyo yun? Hindi na ako magtatrabaho. May naman eh. May papasok naman na suporta ng gobyerno eh. No? Nakikita mo, dito din siguro talaga kinuha ng government yung pagpapalakad eh. No? Not knowing, this is for the church. Naintindihan nyo? Yung gossiping dito is most likely false teachings. Nagkakalat ng false teaching. Speaking things which they ought not. Kung literal na chismisan, wala naman kasi silang ginagawa. Chismis lang. Verse 14, I will therefore that the younger women marry, bear children, guide the house, give none occasion to the adversary to speak reproachably. NLT. So I advise these younger widows to marry again, have children, and take care of their own homes. Then the enemy will not be able to say anything against them. So yung mga imbes na 'di ba? Imbes na magpaka self-sufficient kayo kasi hindi kayo qualified sa support ng church. Ang sinasabi ni Paul, I advise mag-asawa uli kayo. Pwede naman kayo mag-asawa uli eh. Tandaan nyo, sabi sa 1 Corinthians 7, pagpatay na yung asawa mo, pwede ka na mag-asawa. Kanina si Ruth, asawa niya si Boaz, patay na yung asawa niya eh. Widow siya eh. Tapos mag-anak kayo, para yan yung busy na uli kayo. Force ka na, hindi naman as in negative talaga, force. Magtatrabaho ka para makapag-provide ka sa mga anak mo, may anak ka na eh. Tapos mag-aasawa ka uli, tulungan ka ng asawa mo. Naintindihan nyo? Ayan, then the enemy will not be able to say anything against them. Anong enemy? Most likely, demons. Hindi kayo matetempt ng demonyo kasi single kayo, no? Kung ano-anong temptation na gagawin, pwede kayong matempt gumawa ng kung ano-anong kalokohan eh. Magpanggap na kayo, 61 na kayo, o kaya magpaka-prostitute na lang kayo. Walang masasabi yung enemy sa inyo. Naintindihan nyo? Romans 7, verses 2 to 3. For the women which had an husband is bound by the law to her husband, so long as he lived. But if the husband be dead, Romans 7 pala. But if the husband be dead, she is loosed from the law of her husband. So pag namatay na yung asawa mo, pwede ka na mag-asawa ulit. So then, if while her husband liveth, kung buhay pa raw, she be married to another man, she shall be called an adulteress. But if her husband be dead, she is free from that law, so that she is no adulteress, though she be married to another man. So grabe, no? Kunyari, nakipag-divorce ka, buhay pa yung asawa mo, hindi ka pwede mag-asawa. Sasabihin mo, believer ka, wala ka na. Hindi ka pwede. Pero pag namatay si lalaki o si babae, pwede ka mag-asawa. Hindi ka adulterer o adulteress. Pero again, paano yun? Kung na-inlove ka, buhay pa yung asawa niya, pero na-inlove ka, na-inlove din siya sa'yo. Diba? Hindi sa sinasabing bawal. Pero pag nangyari, the wages of sin is death. Mapaparusahan kayo, maybe death, o kung ano-anong sakit, o parusa from God, o discipline. Naintindihan nyo? Hindi ka, alam mo yun, sinuway mo eh. May consequences. Siguro magiging ang gulo-gulo ng relationship mo, pinasok mo eh. Hindi naman kasal eh. Naisip tuloy. Basta may naisip ako. Hindi na. Single. Hindi ka naman kasal, no? Hindi, yung previous.
Hindi. Pero, sinasabi niya sa Pinas ngayon, kasal daw kami.
Okay. Okay. Ano, private, ano na yan. May YouTube yung ano mo. So, mag-asawa daw itong si single widow para may provider siya. Hindi yung asa siya sa church as provider. Naintindihan niyo? So, mag-anak siya para yung trabaho niya sa bahay. Alagaan niya yung mga anak niya. Kasi ganun yung traditional na housewives talaga. Naintindihan niyo?
May gumagawa pa kaya niya?
Pag believer, sinusunod nila yan. Yeah, meron. Verse 15. For some are already turned aside after Satan. And now, talk about the enemy nga naman daw, no? The adversary. 1 Timothy 3, 6 to 8. Not a novice, lest being lifted up with the pride, he fall into the condemnation of the devil. Moreover, he must have a good report of them which are without, lest he fall into reproach and the snare of the devil. Likewise must the deacons be grave, not double-tongued, not given to much wine, not greedy of filthy lucre. So, ito yung issue talaga eh. Parang snare of the devil. Ito may mga nahulog na oh. Verse 15. Some are already turned aside after Satan. Pero sa 1 Timothy 3:8, ayan yung ano eh, oh. Yung last, greedy of filthy lucre, riches. Sa kita nyo, bumalik nga na naman itong mga to eh. Kasi alam mo yun, nung panahon, you can make a lot of money out of prostitution. Ngayon, di ba? Ako, may nakikita ako, nagtataka ako, may mga mansyon, may mga yacht, may mga barko, mga babae, ang babata. Paano nangyayari yun? No? Ganun kayaman, dude. See that? The power. Naintindihan nyo? Kaya-kaya ng basta gamitin mo yung ayan. Yung mga katawan, ginagamit nila. Ayan. Some are already turned aside after Satan. They've fallen into the snare of the devil. Yun yung context dito. Verse 16, if any man or woman that believes have widows, let them relieve them and let not the church be charged, that it may relieve them that are widows indeed. So, sa ESB, if any believing woman has relatives who are widows, Nyari itong believing woman, may kamag-anak na widow, non-believer. Let her care for them. Her, hindi church. No? Let the church not be burdened, so that it may care for those who are truly widows. Ang burden ng church, Christian widows lang. Those godly women. Naintindihan nyo? Pero kung hindi pwedeng, kunyari, believer ka, nagre-request ka sa church, no? Pastor, yung may kamag-anak ako, widow eh, suportahan nyo rin. Hindi pwede. Naintindihan nyo? Yan sinasabi dito. Hindi sila pwede. Unless believer sila, tapos 60 plus, binasa natin yung mga qualification, no? Diba? Hindi tinutukoy dito, napakasama naman ng church, ayaw tumulong, kala ko ba, it's all about caring for... No, may sinusunod na sistema. Dahil si God, He is a God of order. Not kaguluhan o drama. Intindihan nyo? Responsibility ng church lang, believers. Gusto nyo maging sige, pa 60 muna kayo. Tapos, widow kayo, no? 1 Timothy 5:8, di ba? But if any provide not for his own, and especially for those of his own house, he had denied the faith and is worse than anything. So, itong believer, you have to provide kahit dun sa mga kamag-anak, may widow sa family nyo, no? Nyari ka, si mama mo, widow, no? So, you're doing your part, di ba? You take care of your, di ba? Although, hindi naman kayo nasa isang household, no? Pero, nanay mo pa rin yun. So, you take care of her. Diba? Kasi nga, if you don't, ayan nga, if any provide not for his own, no? He had denied the faith and is worse than an infidel or an unbeliever. To close, makikita mo yung church may sistema. Naintindihan nyo? There's order. May mga qualifications pa nga. Hindi basta-basta eh. May mga overseer. There's care, support. May support system. No? 1 Corinthians 14:33. For God is not the author of confusion, but of peace, as in all churches of the saints. Yung Greek word ng confusion, akatastasia, tumult, kaguluhan, instability. state of disorder. Diba? God is not the God of that. Confusion, naintindihan nyo? Kaya yung church, we're not some, alam mo yun, amateur na, kailangan alam natin yung gagawin natin dito. Hindi siya basta you can just jump in and, di ba? Nakikita mo pa nga lang sa James eh, di ba? Hindi ka basta-basta makakapasok sa, I wanna join the church. No. Naintindihan nyo? Protected ni God yun. Via His assigned elders and leaders. No? Sila yung mag-filter, mag-i-interview. 60 ka na ba? Di ba? Believer ka ba talaga? No? Show me your works. No? Show me your faith by your works, sabi ni James. Na? Ngayon, kung wala kang mapapakita, ano ka lang, professor ka lang, nagpo-profess ka lang. Christian din ako eh. It's gonna be hard for us to believe you. No? Hindi ka makakapasok. Yun eh. Kapag nasa church ka, of God, may access ka sa mga, ni Lord, fellowship, no? Support, care. Naintindihan nyo? Love of the brethren, peace from God. Ngayon, pag ayaw mo nun, ang gulo ng buhay mo. Naintindihan nyo? Ang gulo. Especially, hindi ka nakakakain spiritually. Nothing's gonna happen to you. No? You're gonna perish. You're gonna be, alam mo yun, parang dahon na naaarawan ng summer sunlight. Mamamatay ka. Naintindihan nyo? Ngayon, pag nasa, kay God, abiding, no? In the family of God. Which is the exclusive yun. May special yun. Diba? You're under His grace. No? You are abiding. So next time, Lord willing, elders next.